Hi guys, in my observation of lying Brexiteers, probably the most powerful tool Michael Gove possesses is the ability to lie with such a sheer level of confidence that he's able to convince the public and journalists that he's actually telling the truth. While Nigel Farage weaves truth and lies together, Gove instead brute forces his fibs so much that he's able to avoid even basic levels of scrutiny. When questioned by Laura Kuenssberg about the Brexit vote, which was apparently about taking back control, he was able to spin what most people would consider a policy failure into an actual benefit. Have a listen to this.
I'd like though to ask you the wider question. Robert Jenrick believes essentially, as we've heard very clearly, that for years your party has failed to grapple with illegal migration and legal migration. Do you think immigration of more than 600,000 people coming to this country a year is what Leave voters in the Brexit campaign, who you promised control over immigration, were expecting? Have you let them down?
It is only because we're outside the European Union that we can take the steps that we are taking now to deal with...
up.
Your question was longer than my answer, Laura. So
yes, because your answer should be, yes, we let people down, or no, we lied to people. It's either one or the other. Which is it, Michael? He's used this line before, and he continues to use this line. Your question was longer than my answer. Well, your answer should be short. Yes, we lied to people, or no, we were. This is not what people voted for.
So you raise an important issue, which is when we left the European Union, did we take back control? Yes, we can now take steps to reduce those numbers that we were not able to take before. But tripe.
Absolute, and what's really frustrating about all of this is that he's sitting there spewing these lies and this rubbish, and he's going completely unchallenged. Yeah, she said about the numbers going up. This is from Politico from September this year. Germany imposes checks on borders with Poland and Czech Republic. Germany is a member of the European Union. Poland is a member of the European Union. And the Czech Republic is a member of the European Union. The subtitle is, the government is under increasing pressure to stem the flow of asylum seekers. So Germany is imposing checks on the border with these two other members of the European Union. But Michael Gove wants you to believe that we needed to leave the European Union in order to carry out checks. And he goes completely unchallenged by Laura Kuenssberg. I'm not a journalist. This is what's really frustrating for me. I'm not a journalist. Laura Kuenssberg is a journalist. She works for the BBC. I have access to this information. I found it in 2 seconds on Google. How is it possible that Laura Kuenssberg doesn't have this? She has a team of researchers behind her. She knows that Michael Gove is going to come out with these ridiculous lies. So how come she doesn't challenge him on that?
more than that, you also ask the question, is it acceptable to have those numbers? And I don't believe it is. Which is why earlier this week the Home Secretary introduced measures in order to ensure that we could reduce the number of people coming here through legal routes, tighten the rules over visas for people coming here to work, reduce the number of dependents of those who are coming here to work, and also why we're introducing the Rwanda legislation, which has an effective deterrent against the people smuggling gangs who take people here illegally. And on top of that, we have also seen, thanks to Robert, and again I want to thank him for his service, a reduction in the number of people coming here over the English Channel.
God, once again, no pushback. He's allowed just to sit there and lie, to spew his rubbish and go unchallenged. But the bigger problem here is that he, as a member of the Leave campaign, convinced people we need to leave the European Union in order to bring down immigration. Well, it brought down EU immigration, but of course, that EU immigration was replaced with immigration from outside the EU, and there are record numbers. Now, I and most reasonable people don't have a problem with that. When you put up barriers to trade, when you ended freedom of movement, it meant that many sectors like the NHS, social care, and a whole range of other sectors are now lacking the staff they need. So those sectors will try and get the staff they can. Government departments may try to issue more visas, but it ultimately comes down to the Home Office. The Treasury wants to grow the economy. In order to grow the economy, you need workers. If you don't have the workers, your economy will shrink. But the Brexiteers want to put up more barriers to people coming in. And this new legislation, where it's going to make it more difficult for people working, for example, in the NHS or the care sector, to bring dependents with them, will result in them leaving the country. There are numerous stories, people calling into LBC and other radio stations, crying, almost crying down the phone, saying, what am I going to do? I can't bring my spouse and family now, not because of the dependence issue, but because of a new policy where the skilled visa threshold has been increased. So people will not earn enough money. And it's not just we're not just talking about people on 0-hour contracts, also middle class people. This is detrimental. And while there is some pushback when it comes to the immigration numbers themselves, there's no pushback on the lies that we're told. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.